Hi, I just wanted to run you guys through the latest update of Vertex Skin Weights. And I made some major improvements to the interface, the general abilities, and some of the stuff underneath. And I hope you guys like these improvements. I've been using it a lot lately myself, and there's stuff that emerged that I thought, oh, that would be nice to have these things. So I gone ahead and improved the tool for you guys and also just for myself as well while using it. One of the features that I'm actually most excited about, and for me is a major life improvement, is say if I select this over here and I select any of these, it will now show you the bone you have selected in your viewport. So I've select that one. If I select all of them, it will basically show you all the bones that's influencing that vertex in your viewport. So no more digging through names here and trying to figure out which bone is which. When you click them on and off, it will show you in the viewport which ones they are. So here, if I go and see the clavicle bone, it will show me, okay, the clavicle bone there. So it will show me what bone I have selected in the viewport, so you can quickly tell what's going on. So if I select something like here, and I select all my bones, I can see here what is influencing that vertex. And here I can see clavicle really shouldn't be part of that. So you can very quickly see where you have problems. And for this then as well, you can, if you don't want to see this, you can turn it off. You can turn it back on. Here you can also make it more obvious or less obvious, just depending on your preferences. And this for me is like a major life improvement, just to quickly see what the bone is I'm selecting, because names alone sometimes is just a little bit confusing and just slows you down. So if I go over here, I select those, I can see all the bones. Or if I want to assign weights, I know that I'm assigning weights to that one when I change this. So for me, that's a major quality of life improvement, and I hope you guys like it. So for the hammer normalized skin weights tool, it created all these small weights when you pressed it to equalize everything between stuff, and it's just a little bit dirty and stuff. So I added this trim hammer weights below a certain value field here. So basically, if you don't want it to create any values below 1%, it won't do that now. Basically, it runs its normal hammer normalize function, and then afterwards it trims any weights below say 1% and then renormalizes everything. So now if I hit hammer normalize skin weights, you'll see it trims everything below 1%, and you can set this value to whatever you want. So it just keeps everything nice and clean and doesn't create all these small little weights that's not really necessary and doesn't really have much of an impact on the end result. So that's just keeping stuff a little bit clean there. Then for filters, before you only had weighted bones and then all bones. And then if you were clicking on all bones, you had to go through all this list of bones to find the one you want to be, you know, sort of assigning weights to and things like that. But now you have this filter button. So if I type there brow, it will only show the bones with brow in its name. Just be careful with this if your list isn't updating and stuff, or fully updating the way it should. Just make sure that your filter isn't filled in. So just switch that off, so if you want to see all your bones back again. Then I also added this invert. So if you have anything, so if you have that lot selected or deselect all, if you have that lot selected, you can now invert your selection. You can select all, you can deselect all as well. So this just makes it a little bit easier. Invert, select all, deselect all. So I've added this new section called weights below. And this whole section is about cleaning up small weights from your vertices. So it's just a very quick way to get rid of all these little tiny weights. So it's showing up here in your weighted list. So your weighted bones, and it says 0, but it's because it's at a very tiny value there. And this section helps you to get rid of those. So first of all, you can just select them. So you can set this to, so that's 0.01, so that's 1%. So anything below 1%, you can select it. And you can set this value to anything you want. So I can select all those, and I can just go make them 0 or any value I want. This button, set below to 0. So if you press that for your selected vert, it will automatically set anything below that value of 1% to 0. So that's basically just, it will select them, set them to 0, all just in one click. So it's basically just a very quick way to clean up that vertex. So if you do that, it will just clean up that vertex. Get rid of all the small weights and then renormalize everything so it results in 1 again. So that's a way to do that. But that's a bit tedious if you want to do that for your entire mesh. And that's what this cleanup below for mesh is all about. So basically with one click, it will then go for every single vertex in your skin, and it will do this process of getting rid of all your small weights. So it's basically, this will clean up your entire skin and get rid of any small weights from them. And you can set this value to whatever you want. So on this mesh now, I want to get rid of everything below 1% with one click. If you have a very dense mesh, this might take a little bit longer, but it doesn't actually take that long in a mesh like this. So if I click that now, it will go for everything. It's done. So it will go for everything. It went through 5,800 verts. And now if you go through, let's just force this to update. If you then go through this, you'll see there's no weights anywhere below 1% on your entire mesh. So this basically cleans that up for you. So one of the under the hood things is if you set specific values here, they didn't come out very accurately. So I fixed that now. So say, for example, you select those two, set them all to 0.5, and you then select that one and you make that 0.25. These values will now be exact. So before it was kind of like a little bit of a mixed bag, but now these are absolutely accurate. So that's the main new features in Vertex Skin Weights. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you already bought it, you can just grab it, the update. And if you're still thinking of buying it, watch the other videos and see some of the processes of working with this tool. And then just keep in mind these new changes that's been added. Cool. Okay, cheers. Bye.